Hello, welcome to my channel and welcome to Lucid's Advanced Manufacturing Facility in Casa Grande, Arizona. Today is Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. We're going to take a look at the staging lot here on the east side, and then we'll move around to the staging lots on the west side. You can see a Lucid Air heading south along the factory building, but there's fewer cars here in this east staging lot than what I saw on April 25th. There's still a few cars here, all Air sedans, no gravity here. Here's a picture from April 25th for comparison. And then we'll move over. We're still on the east staging lot. We're just flying west along the south side of the factory. And then we'll take a look at the other two staging lots, primarily looking for gravity today to see how gravity is ramping. If you look at the north end of this lot, this is the west staging lot, pretty much empty where all the Air sedans are, but up north there's a lot more gravity than what was here on April 25th. Lots and lots of gravity up on the north end there. There's a few Air sedans mixed in. There's a comparison to April 25th. And as we continue on west to the furthest west staging lot, you still see a lot of gravity at the north side of the staging lots. This lot is looking pretty full. There's more cars in this furthest west lot than what there were on April 25th. Of course, I'll show a picture of April 25th for comparison. And you can see the fewer gravity up there on the north side on the 25th. So lots more gravity. Let's take a close-up look at all of the gravity up on the north end. And if you look closely at these, you will see that the majority, 80 to 90% of them, are headed towards Saudi Arabia. They have the front charge port, the CCS port, versus the rear NACS port that the North American vehicles have. But 10 to 20% of them are for North America. Nick Twerk had posted on Facebook that the reason they're prioritizing Saudi Arabia is because of a supply constraint for a component in that DC to DC boost in the rear motor. I have a good idea what that component is, and it's understandable because there wasn't a whole lot of time to design the new component and build the supply chain. We're just taking a look at the rest here. There's 3 Lucid Gravity. It's kind of on the south side of the staging lot. I just want to make sure there's no gravity mixed in with the Lucid Air sedans. And for the most part, other than those first 3 that we saw, the rest of these are the Air sedans. Back to that component that does the DC to DC boost, Emad Dalala, head of powertrain for Lucid, did an interview with Kyle Connor on the components that were required to make that work. And there's a super cap and contactors that were reduced in size to allow room in the same size inverter that was already built into the design of the Gravity. And those were a new addition to the supply chain, and they were having a difficult time sourcing them, is what Emad said. So I suspect it's that part that's limiting supply, but as that supply begins to pick up, as Lucid works to overcome the supply constraint, and their supplier does also, my guess is we'll start to see more and more North America vehicles up here in the staging lots or being sent on the car haulers out for studios and customer deliveries. This is that west staging lot. There's a lot of open spaces here, so really not a lot to see. And this is a little test track to see what was going on up here. There is a Gravity that's going to come out of the factory here in a second. Here it is. And it doesn't really do much. It goes around the corner and parks, so I didn't continue the video here for too long. In the foreground, you see more Gravity. All of those have the front charge port indicating they're headed to Saudi Arabia. This building to the right there that they're parked in front of is the semi-knockdown, or what Lucid calls the skid building, which is what they do before they ship the cars to Saudi Arabia. I wanted to take some photos of the Nikola factory now that Lucid has purchased this. I didn't drive down, I flew down and took some pictures from the air. My understanding is that Lucid bought the factory and the equipment inside the factory, but all of the trucks and the components that we see outside the factory, Lucid did not purchase. So I don't know what's going to happen with those. I was also not aware that there was a small test track here that's associated with the property at the Nikola factory. Very interesting to see. That's it for today, so thank you for watching.